The SavvyBaker was born in April of 2020, and it started out, so the owner, Savannah, it was just in her kitchen, baking trays and trays and sending them to, it first started as friends, and then she went Leeds local, and then she went and started delivering nationwide. And I think as the business grew and as she needed to start, employing people or getting more hands in, that's when she needed someone to kind of take on more of a leadership role so that she could allow the business to grow kind of out of where it would have grown if it would have just been all herself. Because at the end of the day, I think when it comes to the growth of a business, you have to have people in place that can lead a team as, say, the owner or say another section of the business can kind of grow itself, which is obviously where I came into it. I used to work as a duty manager at a hotel, managing a team, so obviously that helped. And I used to also work at a supermarket where a lot of the work is obviously you have to work in teams, you have to work together to get an end result. So I guess really, and I think this goes for anyone, majority of the jobs that you do, even if it's working in a supermarket or working in a hotel, you'll find that you'll have some kind of sense of leadership or some sense of teamwork that will lead to further skills for a role like this. So I'm good with people. I think it's important to be friendly, attentive, and if people need help, you need to be there at the click of a button. I also think it's very important to be able to say no and to be able to point out people's errors. So I say friendly, attentive, making sure that you are aware of how your team is working and where they can improve. So the induction process is very all hands on deck. I think when you're working in a kitchen, it's go, go, go from the get-go. So when they come in, it's a little disclaimer to say we are going to be full on hectic from start to finish. And it's very much just seeing how they work and how they slot into an already working chain of events or like a workflow. And I think a lot of roles in kitchens or in bakeries are like that. It's throwing them in the deep end, seeing how they can handle the pressure and whether or not they can meet the demands that we've got pre-existing, because, got to muck in, we've got to do this as a team. Here it's a lot more, it's a smaller team, so we're a lot tighter. It's kind of like entering a weird dysfunctional family. So when it comes to being corporate, it can be very clinical, of course. It can be very, everything's on paper. It's an A to B situation, like this is what we do to get to this place. But here it's like, sometimes we might have 3,000 brownies to make, other days we might have 10, sometimes we might have, 10,000, who knows. So here it's kind of, we get to know each other, it's a very friendly and warm environment, and it's less of overheads making sure we hit a target, because we'll always hit a target. It's more, let's get this done together, let's work together, let's get this done, we can do this, we can smash this out. So to make new colleagues feel welcome when they start, I'll have a write-up of what the day's events will be, what we'll be making, how we'll be making it, what ingredients we need. So they're just clued up on, they know what they're going to do before they enter the kitchen. That way it sets them at ease, and it certainly sets me at ease because I know that we're going to get to the end goal at some point. And then other than just setting out the day's tasks, it's just about kind of getting to know them, knowing that they're a valued member of the team. And making sure that they know that we want to know who they are, and not just that they can bake a couple cookies well. I think it's mainly about offering support. It shouldn't be a case of they need to ask for it. It shouldn't be a case of they need to, we need to be prompted. As a team leader, you need to be overviewing how people are reacting, how they're feeling. Always keep an eye on them. If you're doing a job, just flick back and make sure that they're okay in their heads. And just making sure that the problem is solved before it's even been asked. I think my team communicate very well. Because we're such a close-knit and small group of people, there's really no choice but to keep an active dialogue on at all times. The constant dialogue comes from making sure that the environment is welcome and friendly, making sure that people know that they're appreciated. it just helps for an overall sense of kind of community, and you get to your end goal much quicker. If there was a lack of communication, we just wouldn't be able to run. It's just impossible. It's imperative really that we're always talking, we're always making sure that everyone knows what everyone's doing. It's not a case of one person will be doing one project whilst another person will be doing another one in another room. We've got to constantly be talking and constantly be making sure that we are all together and all pushing towards the end goal to make sure that we sell some fantastic bakes.